This is a Formula 1 Euros 2024 game. Yes, with the Euros coming to a close this weekend with the final, I thought it was time to make our own Formula 1 version of the Euros Championship. We did this 2 years ago with the World Cup, and you guys seem to really enjoy that. So now it's time to delve into the F1 24 Euros. We've got 10 teams on the grid. England with Hamilton and Norris. Spain with Alonso and Sainz. Of course, these two national teams in the actual Euros final on Sunday. Denmark, Magnussen and Vesti. France with Gasly and Pourchaire. Monaco is a bit of a surprise entry because I thought it would be really nice to have the pairing of Charles Leclerc and Arthur Leclerc together. Germany with fan favourite Vettel and Hülkenberg. Finland with Bottas and Raikkonen. And I know this next one's going to surprise you, but it's Belgium with Verstappen and Cordial. Netherlands, Vischer and De Vries. I'll explain that in a moment, but our final and 10th team is Italy with Giovinazzi and Oscar Piastri, the Italian. So just explaining those last three teams, of course, this is a mod for the F1 game. So there are limitations of what drivers I can put in these teams. And in order to get Belgium on the grid as a full two-person team, we had to have Verstappen represent his Belgian heritage because there were enough drivers from the Netherlands to fill up that team without having Verstappen in it. But Belgium needed him in that team in order to actually fill the grid with 20 drivers. And with Piastri, well, that's just a well-known F1 joke. And with that now, it's time to actually dive in to the F1 24 Euros tournament. We've got 3 rounds for you today. They're all 3-lap races, so it's like a short, intense sprint race. I feel like if F1 ever did some sort of, Euros or World Cup or Olympic sort of event, it wouldn't be as long as a full Grand Prix. It would kind of be shorter and sweeter. But here's how the grid then lines up for our first race here in the F1 Euros. Verstappen alongside Alonso on the front row. The second row is Leclerc alongside Lando, who I'm driving as. Carlos Sainz alongside a headless Kimi Raikkonen. Hamilton, Vettel next up. Then Giovinazzi didn't even bother to turn up for his photo. Gasly, Magnussen and Hülkenberg rounds out the top 12. Then you've got Oscar Piastri alongside Théo Pourchaire, Arthur Leclerc alongside Richard Vischer, Bottas and Cordial, and then the final row is Frederik Vesti and Nick De Vries. And with that, we are ready to go to our first ever F1 Euros race here around Silverstone as we go to 5 red lights. And we are underway. Verstappen with a slow getaway. Fernando Alonso for Spain into first place into turn 1. We've gone down the inside and got the elbow out, and we're up to second place for England. It's Spain and England in the top 2 here, just as it is in the real-life football championship. Leclerc up to third for Monaco. Hamilton's had a decent getaway there. Vettel ahead of his old pal Kimi Raikkonen. The two Italians, Giovinazzi and Piastri, together, P11 and 12, just outside the points-paying positions as we look to chase after Fernando Alonso, leading the way for Spain. Of course, right now, Hamilton's doing his job versus the other Spaniard, Carlos Sainz. He's ahead of Sainz, and with Alonso leading, it's advantage to Spain out of everyone, really. So I've got to try and do my job of chasing after him, but obviously others will try and follow suit. Leclerc's right there, Verstappen as well. Meanwhile, plenty of close fighting going on as Vettel looks to maybe make a pass on Raikkonen. Vettel and Raikkonen turning back the years side by side through Maggots and Beckett's as we nearly get squeezed onto the grass by Fernando Alonso going defensive. Can we go round the outside for England into first place on the opening lap just as we get to the final few corners? But look how close Leclerc is. Leclerc might even make a move. Monaco nearly up to second place, but Verstappen's there as well. It is a very, very tight grid. Of course, I didn't say it because it's kind of obvious, but of course we have equal cars with this one, so it's all about the drivers, and it means the races are going to be super close, nose to tail, as we focus on the two Italians lying astern just ahead of Arthur Leclerc. Hülkenberg stuck a little bit, you feel, ahead of the more junior Théo Pourchaire with very little experience in this sort of realm of high octane stakes of Formula 1 racing as we squeeze Alonso to the inside, but he keeps his elbow in there and we nearly bang tyres. The Spaniard tries the outside outside line. Doesn't work. We maintain first place, but we're having to really defend Alonso and keeping a close eye as well, because we've got a bit of a 4-car train here, tail-ended by Verstappen. Verstappen may just try and switch things around. You can see behind as he tries to overtake Leclerc to get back into third place. Of course, he was on pole position, so he'll be kicking himself in the cockpit that he's let the P1 slip away. And of course, in a 3-lap race, you know, it's all about nailing every part of the race. The start, the end, the middle, everything. And so Verstappen's having to recover, and he's not got long left because we've only got a lap after this one to go. Verstappen, can he finally do it? I think he can. No, Leclerc is doing so well for little Monaco, representing them at the Euros. In real life, in football, they've never been in the championship. They're not in the federation for UEFA or FIFA, so they're never going to be in the championship. But here in Formula 1, Monaco has a massive representation in this sport, and Leclerc is trying to do his best to maintain the top 3. Meanwhile, this is Kimi Raikkonen, who I think's dived down the inside of Sainz there. So Finland trying to get ahead of this second Spanish car. Vettel watching that closely behind. So Raikkonen's done well to actually fend off his old Ferrari teammate, as we see Alonso go for the inside once again. And this time, he's even more aggressive, and he's tapped us a little bit. Now, can we try and go around the outside? No. Wash of understeer, just like Alonso had. But now we're the one chasing. But unlike Alonso, I think we've got a lot of battery to use, and we might even re-overtake him into Copse. We don't even have to use the battery, to be honest. We've still got 25% left. Oh, banging tyres. This is getting very aggressive indeed as Leclerc closes up. Alonso makes the repass in the middle of Maggott and Beckett. This is insane racing in the opening round for the F1 24 Euros. We're on the last straight. Alonso actually has DRS, but I've got a lot of battery to use. I don't think Alonso did. And on the last lap, into the last sector, we're trying to hang it around the outside. It will turn to the inside for the final sequence of corners. Alonso's there. We're going to be side by side through the second last corner, but to the last, we get it on towards the line. We get the first win of the Euros Championship here in Formula 1. But that was very close. But even though it's a 3-lap race, we were still able to do some tactical driving there on purpose, saving a lot of battery for that last straight. You know, Alonso had DRS on that last straight. If I didn't have 25% battery, I actually would have been screwed, and we'd have lost the first race to Spain here. But we've got the W. We've got the first win. I think Hamilton maintained ahead of Sainz. So all round versus what seems to already be our main rival in this championship. Like in real life, it is England versus Spain, but don't count out Belgium with Verstappen. Maybe even Charles Leclerc himself could just try and get Monaco right up there. I mean, right now it's England, Spain, Monaco, then Belgium in the top 4. But we're now going to move on swiftly to round number 2 at Monza, and we have not qualified as well this time. P12, it was a slipstream fest in qualifying as we go to 5 red lights, and we're underway, and we've got some overtaking and work to do from here as it's a slow start for Sainz. Piastri on the right, Hulkenberg on the left. It's getting very close for comfort. There's cars on the left, right of us, and we hit Piastri into turn 1 as it's a concertina effect into the corner. Oh, 4 wide. It's just far too tight, isn't it, guys? We're just not going to make that work. 4 wide there. Thank God one of them let off the throttle there as Piastri trying to do, you know, the home crowd proud, so to speak. Still, yeah, I'm sure the home crowd may be a little bit confused about why Piastri's representing them, but just go with it. And he's doing well. He's P10, but his teammate, Giovinazzi, he actually qualified really well, and he's up in P4 right now in this race. So, you know, obviously, it may be a little bit of home crowd magic for Antonio Giovinazzi up there in the top 4. Verstappen, though, leads the way. Alonso, consistent as ever, up there in P2, whereas I was not as consistent. I was quite surprised, actually, qualified P12. I was really pushing flat out, but, you know, around here, the margins are so close. The entire grid was spread by half a second, so it's very, very tight, as you can see, because Alonso now is having a go at Verstappen, and Hamilton may well get involved. It might be be a 3-wide moment. Will it be through goes Hamilton on the inside? It might just be as he goes on the inside. Alonso on the outside. Verstappen's going to get pinched in surely, but somehow Alonso might be the better one out of all three of them. No, Verstappen even might be. I think Verstappen somehow actually still led that entire trio as we now are making up more positions on Finland with Valtteri Bottas. Germany, Nico Hulkenberg, is he going to give us the room on the inside? Either way, we're going to still go to the inside, but he does give us enough room to work with, and unfortunately for Nico, I'm not going to repay the favour. We're going to squeeze him out as we try and push away and chase after this pack, tail-ended by Raikkonen. Then you've got Gasly in the French team doing much better. France had a very quiet race in the opening round, but Gasly flying the flag for Les Bleus in P5 right now, as Giovinazzi is probably just getting a bit of a nosebleed, to be honest. I really did not expect him to be this high up, but you know, ever since he left F1, he's become a very established driver for Ferrari in the hypercar class, so maybe he's brought some learnings back into the F1 game here, as it's still Verstappen leading the way, but Alonso, I think you'll agree, pretty much pushing him through the corner of Parabolica, as now Hamilton may go for a move. Watch Giovinazzi though, he might go for a move. Giovinazzi, the Italian, he's gone for the triple overtake. Oh, he's made it. He's ahead of everyone. He's side by side with Hamilton. Hamilton momentarily into P1, but no, it's the Italian. The Italian is up into first place here at Monza. The Tifosi are going to be going absolutely wild. Giovinazzi leads this race. Hamilton second, Verstappen down to third, Alonso fourth, Gasly close behind now. Can he do anything? Can Raikkonen do anything? It's been a very quiet race for us, I must say, in P7. It seems like that might be the maximum today, as the other Italian, Piastri, just can't quite get into the top 10, but the legitimate Italian is in P1. Incredible, as we're having to defend Bottas, and Giovinazzi is getting overtaken though. Is it heartbreak? Hamilton may have just ruined the party. He gets round the outside. He's into first as we defend successfully against the Finn of Bottas, but one final corner and maybe one final twist in the tail. Antonio Giovinazzi gets up into first place at the final corner, and he's going to take victory for Italy at Monza. Unbelievable. That is mental. I did not have that on my bingo card. I absolutely didn't. What? Giovinazzi out of nowhere. Yeah, okay, so obviously one of the limitations with the modding is, yes, I can have Giovinazzi's name and nationality in the game as an actual driver, but there is no actual 3D model of him in the modern F1 games anymore, which is a bit of a shame, really, because obviously, to be fair, he used to be a fan favourite of ours in F1 2021, of course, in that My Team career mode, but today, it's his day in the F1 24 Euros, as, well, he's single-handedly taken Italy up to P4 in the standings, but we in England, Hamilton still got a decent P2, we got, obviously, the P7, but we lead Spain by 22 points. The ball is very much in our court as we go into the final round of this, well, mini championship. I didn't want to drag the video on for too long, basically. Just give you a bit of a taster of what something like this, you know, could be like in Formula 1. But, yeah, so Belgium in third. Again, you know, like with Italy, Belgium being propped up single-handedly by Verstappen. Finland doing very well with Bottas and Raikkonen in P5, both of them scoring some decent points. Unfortunately, both Leclercs had a quieter second race there, so Monaco slipping down the order alongside their neighbour of France. And a surprise for me is how poor Germany are doing so far, but yeah, they just haven't had the rub of the green. Denmark and the Netherlands. Netherlands probably seething at the moment at me, the creator of this entire thing, to not let them have Verstappen, because they're down in 10th place now because of it, with only 1 point to the name. But at least every nation has got off the mark then as we go into the final race, and it's going to be in the neutral location in in Austria at the Red Bull Ring as we go to 5 red lights. It's the final race of this F1 24 Euros Championship. Sainz in the Spain car blocks us on the inside, and it opens up the door for Piastri to go through into P5. Sainz has foiled us there a little bit. He gave us no room to work with, and that was good work from him to tactically do that as we're trying to overtake him. But look who's on the inside. Vettel! Massive kamikaze dive from Sebastian Vettel. He's got it all wrong though there, and Germany will be a little bit annoyed at that as he's caused a collision and he's slowed up, more importantly, myself and Sainz, and we're still at it wheel to wheel. Oh, Sainz! Sainz is swiped across and hit us. We did squeeze him, to be fair, but I was not expecting that. He's punted us into the gravel. In the final race of this championship, there is drama between England and Spain, and it's, well, we're driving as Lando. Our old pal Carlos Sainz has hit us off into the gravel trap. Unbelievable. We're out the points. We're outside the top 10 as Vettel has a little look around the outside of Kevin Magnussen, but sit rep then. Hamilton is P4. Alonso does lead, so let's try and do a bit of quick maths here. So Verstappen is attacking him, but let's say Alonso won the race. If Hamilton, let's say worst case scenario, doesn't even move from P4, I feel like he could overtake Leclerc as Alonso defends Verstappen, but let's say he doesn't and he finishes P4, and Sainz being in P6, let's say he doesn't move, I think we would just clinch the championship by 1 point, because Alonso would get 25, Hamilton would get 12 for P4. That brings down Spain's total, but then you add in 8 points for Sainz, and that's Spain outscoring us by 21 points. And if you remember, we were 22 points ahead of Spain going to the final race. I can't believe a 22-point lead could get eroded like this in one race, but that is what's happened, is happening here because of us being punted out of the top 10. So, I mean, we would still clinch the title, but it's going to be bloody close, and to use a football term, it's going to be squeaky bum time right at the end as Vettel tries to overtake Bottas for some glory for Germany and a couple of more points for them. But yeah, because of that pressure on the last lap here, with all this fighting going on ahead of us, we have a chance to maybe get back into the points, and we should try and do that just to try and make this a little bit more comfortable for us in the last dying stages of this race and the entire championship. Look at all the traffic. This corner causing major issues in real life and in the game here as we go around the outside of Giovinazzi, the hero of the last race, looking to make an overtake now on the Finn Bottas. He's got a penalty as well, to be fair, but we have to go for the move as we want to go for further overtakes. Ahead is Hulkenberg, hits Gasly, double points for Germany, but up ahead, yellow flags for what? Oh, Sainz! Oh, Sainz is up to third! What's happened? Oh my God! Hamilton is slow! I think he took a trip into the gravel trap. Fernando Alonso is going to win this race. Hang on a minute though. Is this a smash and grab at the end? Because the other Spaniard, Carlos Sainz, is in third. We make the dive on Hulkenberg. We get P9. Oh no! I can't believe it. I think we've lost. We've lost. What? Double Spain podium. Oh my God. Just like in football, the Spanish are relentless. The pressure is constant. Alonso's won his first race in this mini championship. Sainz with a podium. Double podium. What's happened though? Hamilton, I think he took a trip into the gravel trap. I think Piastri was involved, so maybe the two of them made a bit of contact because I think Piastri was right behind him. Potentially. Wow. What a point swing. 22 points we were ahead, and now we're 16 behind. My jaw is on the floor. I'm gobsmacked. What a dramatic ending to the F1 24 Euros. Guys, if you have enjoyed it, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I, for one, will be hoping that this is not a bad omen and a sign of things to come for the actual Euros final later on Sunday. But till the next one, guys, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.